Hello to all you puzzlers out there. It's Doc Hitchcock, and today I have a puzzle that I've been both looking forward to and dreading for months. And that is this puzzle by Jon Keegan called Bananas. So, the reason I've been looking forward to it is because it's a really awesome puzzle. I've heard great things about it. I've seen it discussed for many a months on the puzzle messaging boards. I've seen it go up and down on the puzzle auctions as far as value and price. So one of the reasons I do these solve videos is for the people that might not be able to get their hands on some of these puzzles. They're not exactly cheap. Some of them are more on the rare side as well. So I want to make sure that people who can't or won't or are unable to get these puzzles can solve them through my eyes. And also because my dad, he likes to watch me solve these puzzles. So hey Dad, how you doing? And I hope you like this Uh-oh, sounds like somebody's getting a little restless there. You better get into it. All right, so before we get into solving the puzzle, I did just want to appreciate the packaging here. If you look at the way that it comes in this little balsa wood, I think it is, crate with this side is up, live animal handle with care. You can see the bananas engraved, the name of the puzzle, and then the puzzle maker's mark. That's Jon Keegan's little symbol there. I just wanted to point that out, that with these puzzles, especially the high-end puzzles, the ones that are a little more expensive, a little more sought after, you do want to see some of this attention to detail. As you can remember in the video where we did the buried treasury, I really appreciate those puzzles that give a little bit of that immersive feel to it so that you can kind of get into the puzzle, to the lore or the feel of the puzzle. So let me read to you the kind of synopsis for the puzzle. This is called Midnight Escape. Bananas is quite the curious creature, always creating havoc and meddling in things he shouldn't. Over the years, he's become very crafty in his midnight escapes. Keegan's Wildlife Park has created a super kennel for Bananas, hoping to keep him contained during the late night hours. But Bananas gets quite lonely during these long nights and would love some adventure. If you can free Bananas and bribe him with a late night snack, you just might become his new best friend. Happy adventuring. Sounds fun. So we're gonna meet this Bananas. And then the objectives here, what you can see here is it's to release your tools, move the vault bars to unlock the cage, introduce yourself to Bananas, befriend Bananas by treating them to a healthy snack. Go ahead and open our crate here to release Bananas. And as we can see, this has already been opened, so this isn't fresh from the box or anything. I actually have had this on display for months, so I just wanted to give you guys some of that immersive feel with the crate here. So we'll set that aside. Taking a look at the puzzle, we can see a number of features that give us a few clues as to how to solve this. And here we can see our friend Bananas stuck behind the bars, waiting to get freed, waiting for a snack. And what we also can see is quite a few of these holes that look like they have magnets in them. So I'll put this up here. You can see there's what is pretty clearly magnets, or at least metal that magnets can attach to. This, a little button, I'm not sure what that is yet, a little brass button. You see a little hex screw, which is probably something that this little hex thing sticking out, which by the way is the first piece that I was able to release, which let's see if we can do it again. That would fit into there. And then you can see some ball bearings down in there, a little brass rod, some holes in the side here, some more brass rods, holes on each side. And then on the top, we have a couple of hex screws as well. And one is kind of loose to the touch, but I'm not sure, the other one isn't, but I'm not sure if that's supposed to be loose or not. But then there's this little round dealie that spins around. Okay. So one of the other things that I should note is on the bottom here, you have the signature of the creator, Jon Keegan. Oh, so gross when I see my fingerprints and stuff, but anyway, I'll get over it. And then the number of the puzzle, it's a limited edition puzzle, only 225 are gonna be made, and this was number 157. So, let's see. All right, so if I remember correctly, the way, I don't know how I got it out, but I can remember how I got it back in. So once I got this little piece out here, it's a little tool. I remember just coming out by mistake when I first was doing this. So let me just keep doing this for a while and see if I can get it to come out again. Ah, there it goes. Oh, thank God, my shoulders were killing me. I'm excited, everyone. This has been months sitting taunting me, and I've been knowing that this hex screw has to be something to do this. So now I'm about to unleash this little screw and see what happens when I do. So I'm gonna set this aside because who knows if we need to use that elsewhere, but I don't know really what that does. Okay, it just unlocks this. Okay, so this hex screw, see this little depression in here? That hex screw is holding this in, this little brass pin. And so, and this looks like it's magnetic, but brass won't be magnetic. This will, so you can see it attracts this pin. So let's take a look around the puzzle. So this aluminum is not magnetic, but these screws are. So the question is, can I use these to unscrew this? Probably not. Oh, hex screw, so, oh, it's too big. So it's too big. So it's too big for these screws, right? Let's see if these are, look at that. So these are very attracted to each other. And if you look here, this little brass rod pulls out and you can see, so there's a pin in there, but you can see that I can spin that brass rod. So there must be, it looks like it's not a hook or something. It's actually, anyway, before we get too much into that, let's explore a little more because I saw other, so here's magnet. Oh, so this one actually repels. So they both repel. And those ones, oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, I'm leaking stuff. So apparently in this little hole, there was a rod. Is it magnetic? No, it's not. Oh, these ball bearings are. Hold on a second. So there's a little aluminum rod. We might need that for later. And I got a ball bearing here, and I see other ones in there, so let's see if they all come out. Okay, so we have 3 ball bearings, and we saw those in there before. I'm gonna put all these little pieces on this cloth here because they want to roll away and I don't want them to get lost. All right, so let me put those ball bearings back in, see if there's room where they were in the front. Yeah, there's room. There's like, you can line them up in a row, see that? But then if you do this, you can see they stack up. So that means it's kind of 2 ball bearings thickness deep. Let's see maybe if we can get those ball bearings to fall through any hatches or anything. Oh. Oh, I just realized on the other side of this brass rod there's a magnet. I did not see that before. And it sticks directly to these, so I don't even need these ball bearings for that. Okay, so, and it's pretty strong too, so, okay. So maybe, so when I pull this rod on this side, you can see it opens a little thing there. The ball bearings don't go down, they go to the other side. So let's put them all in there. I'm not sure if I need all of them, but let's see what we can do here. There you go. So see, it's stuck out now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it looks like by pulling this one, I can get them to go down here. Question is, let's do one at a time. Let's just do one at a time. Okay, now it's down here. So let's see if the other one, yeah, there it is. All right, so look, now it's down here, see it? Oh, where'd it go? There you go, see it? See it? All right, so now the question is, what do I do with that? Probably what I need to do, I bet you these magnets have something to do with having to have them all open to get his cage open. Let's use that as a working hypothesis. So I have 3 ball bearings and 3 mechanisms. Maybe not, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. On the brass pin, on the tail end of it, there's 3 little dots. Let's see if I see that on the rest of the pins. Okay, so maybe it's the rotation. When I rotate it, oh, see that? That's 2 dots. But, let me rotate it, because I swore I saw more. Yeah. So when I rotate it to the other side, it has 3 dots. See that? So what does that mean? And is there a 1 dot on this one? Let's see. It does. So it has a 1 on there as well. So does each of these have a 3, 2, and a 1? And what does that mean? As far, is it the number of balls that we have to have in there to move on? Let me think. All right, so there's some things that I've noticed. So I noticed that these bolts are kind of like loose. No, yeah, the bolts are kind of loose. One seems to be loose than the other. And when I turn upside down, this top here seems to be a little bit loose. And what I thought was interesting is if you look in this portal here, you can see that there's a little bar that looks like, I don't know if you can see, but it looks like it goes from this screw all the way down. And when you take a magnet and you wiggle it, you can see that it moves. So I thought that was interesting because what that tells me is it's likely that these 2 screws are not really screws, they're the bars that actually hold this cage in, that is keeping bananas in. So my thought is, okay, so what does that have to do with these brass bars with the magnets? And so this one was this brass bar that came out, and so that released that part of this bar. So basically we now have these bars that have these screws on top of the device. You know what, let me draw on the other side of this. So if we have the box that is bananas, and so let's see. So we have, I'll draw it like a 3D. So bananas is right here. Okay, I'm not sure this is a very good drawing or not, but there's bananas and he's in his cage. All right, cage. All right, and let's put some bars there. Oh, that's pretty good, right? Okay, so we have the 4 holes, and then there's the 2 screws up here and this little rotating disc. And the screws look to be actually holding these bars in place. And the way that they're doing it is they actually have a little notch where these holes are. And we have a little pin like this in each one. And so this one we already got out, so it's free to move. So we now need to get these 3 out. So I'm thinking that if we can figure out how to move this one, and we can get this one to move free, then maybe we can concentrate more on these other 2. So let's get our magnet out, stick it there, and get the other magnet and put it here. And so that way we can kind of wiggle it back and forth as we move this one. See if we can get, there you go. So for instance, something clicked right now. I don't know what that means, so I think I just need to keep messing with that until maybe what I can do is lift out this screw if I get the right get this in the right configuration. So remember, there's those dots that say 1, 2, 3. So maybe I just try 1, slowly pull it out, 2, pull it out, and 3. So let's try that. Okay, so it seems though, I think I'm on the right track, but it seems as though I'm missing a piece or something to be able to screw these, because I don't think the magnet is strong enough you can turn this one, but you can't really do much. Let's see, that's not even, so I think we need a stronger tool, or a tool that has a hex but just smaller than this, which I'm not sure we have. This one seems like I can move it. See, I can move this one. How much can I move it? Let me see. Is that it? Oh, it's coming back around. Oh, okay, so I can go all the way around. Okay, that's the second revolution. And this does look like it's coming up. So, guys, look at this. Okay, so all my work was not done in vain. Oh my goodness. I was thinking I was gonna have to somehow go watch a cheat video. But I got it out. Okay, so these weren't screws, it was the whole thing. And so we were right. We were right. Vindication. All right, so that means that we need to do the same to the other side. See, now we're loose. Okay, so we can do the same to the other side. Let's see if we can do that. This doesn't give us any additional tools, so we're just gonna have to do the same to the other side. So I think we're on the right track. I just need this one now, and let's see if we can do the same with this one. All right, so let me see. I think I have the numbers right. I think it might just be about how far do I have to get this one out. Maybe I just keep them at the same distance out. Okay, so it's moving, it's twisting, but I don't think that's it because it's not going all the way around. Okay, so I just took this flashlight, looked in here, and was looking for the exact alignment of this brass rod when it actually lined up to let this out, and it actually wasn't on any number. It was actually between 2 dots and 3 dots. So what that tells me is that I'm pissed off because I think Keegan, either it's for later in the puzzle or that was a red herring to throw us off, and it really comes down to alignment. And so, or there's just some other symbolism that I'm not quite getting between, if it's between 2 and 3 dots, I don't really know what that means. And so that means that I have to do probably a little more trial and error with how to line up these 2 brass rods, which kind of is a pain in the butt, because the question is, how many permutations? Well, if it's between 2 and 3, should I just try doing it between 2 and 3 for all of them and seeing if that's the way to line it up? I mean, maybe that's why he did it that way. So let's try that. Maybe he isn't as mean as I think he is. You know, I'm pretty sure that I don't need to screw it out like this one, because this one is pretty loose. It doesn't feel like this one was actually down pretty firmly. So I think it's just about aligning these 2 up. Question is, how do I figure out how to line it up? I don't know. I don't know if there should be 1 and 2, or I really don't know, guys. This is kind of maddening. It's kind of, if those numbers don't mean anything, there's like, it's just trial and error then. Okay guys, this has taken forever and a day, but I figured a couple of things out. I looked at this metal bar here and I saw that there was nothing to do with being on a particular number, so it doesn't have to do with the number of beads. It doesn't have to do with the order of the bar, because it was between a couple of numbers. I think that those dots are simply there for orientation, so that you know where you are and where you've been, so that you're not just seeing this blank bar spinning. You know exactly, okay, I'm between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. That way, what I was able to do was, with these two bars, I was able to look at and see, okay, I can start with 1, I can go to 1.5, I can go to 2, I can go to 2.5, and then I could just spin the bar around up here and kind of like put constant pressure on this magnet, so that I basically was systematically working my way through all the different permutations, knowing that I could keep track using those dots. The issue was that I could not find it, but then I realized that I was assuming that I needed to have this bottom one pushed out all the way. So then I did the same thing by putting 1 bead, then less to 0 beads. And what I found was that, let's see, right there. Okay, so what I found was the solution is where you're actually with one, the one dot is directly on the bottom of both of these rods. And this particular magnet is actually almost all the way back. Sorry, Tyke is ready for bed. All right, so now we'd be able to get this out, and that means we have both. But interestingly, like we thought, this one does not have a screw. This one was just so, but what I can hear is that there's something in there. So it was loose, and there looks to be like a little thing here. So I bet you anything it fits in this screw here, yeah. Okay, so my feeling is that we solved these out of order. So I think this one on this side was actually supposed to be first. I'm sorry, I take that back. This one was supposed to be first using the magnets, and then this one was supposed to give us the tool to get this one out. We just happened to do it the other way. Guess it doesn't matter, we got there eventually. So, interesting. Well, now we might be able to use that tool for something else, so I might be wrong. So let me just put that aside. So I think that now, I'm gonna take that out. I think we can pull the cage out. Here's a moment of truth. We have freed Bananas. Ladies and gentlemen, he's free. Our friend Bananas, oh, his hand came off. No, I'm so sorry, Bananas. All right, put his hand back on. He's cute, guys, isn't he? Look at that. Isn't he a cute little guy? Look at that little guy. Just waiting for his snack. Okay. So let's remind ourselves it's been hours. So let's remind ourselves the objectives. Release your tools. I guess that's what all this is. Move vault bars to unlock cage. Did that. Introduce yourself to Bananas. Hello, Bananas. How you doing? Let's shake our hand. How you doing, Bananas? Okay, we've done that. All right, and then the last objection is befriend Bananas by treating him to a healthy snack. All right, so we're on the last step here. Oh, you know what I didn't even think is that the top might come off now because we unscrewed. Yep, so look at that. Okay, so now the top comes off. Don't know what that does for us. Okay, so this was the spinning part here. Remember that? And I wonder if maybe I was wrong. Maybe that other little tool comes into play here as well. So let's take that out. This little baby Allen wrench, let's see. No, it doesn't fit in there. Okay, so let's put that there for now. See, there's almost like a little ball bearing in there. But I'm not sure exactly what we're supposed to do with this. Not really sure. what to do with this other than use it as a fidget spinner. Maybe there's a tool we get later. It's bananas. Does that have anything to do with it? Bananas, can you help me? I think bananas can help. I'm actually just gonna put him back with his cage for a little while just to keep him nice and safe. Oh, his hand came off. Oh no. Oh no. I broke bananas. Or I'm gonna have to glue that back on. Broke his arm. Happens, guys. Happens. Animal abuse, it's a thing. Sorry, bananas. He'll be fine, guys. He'll be fine. Plenty of three-legged apes in the wild. Maybe this breaking was a sign that I should... I mean... well, I don't remember it fitting before, but now when I put it in there, it feels like I'm pushing a spring down. Guys, that's silly. I mean, I guess it's not an external tool, even though it's like chopping off the hand of a poor monkey. I think that's a little cruel. Introduce yourself to bananas. Maybe they meant... oh, I don't want to bend it and break it more. I've already broken it off his wrist. Okay, so it is pushing it down, but I'm scared because when I push it to the side, I'm afraid I'm going to break it. This can't be right. Oh, it's stuck now down. Is that a good sign? I think it came out. It did. Okay, so there's the hand. I'll put that back there. Brass rods. Okay, okay. And a little bead. Okay, the brass rods. I think I know what those are for. I think one probably goes in there. One probably goes in there. Okay, but where does the third one go? Because there's 4 holes. Somewhere else to put those rods? I know what some of you just answered when I said that, and that is rude. So maybe push here? Oh, yes! So when you push, that's actually a spring. Let me see, other side. Yes! So these 2 holes here are spring loaded. It hurts like the dickens to push them in, but... oh no! What else is there to push? I can feel a little mechanism like click when if I don't push them in all the way. Oh look, now that's kind of stuck. Oh, and that now it's not coming out. It's deep in there. It looks like it's in some sort of mechanism. So that mechanism is pushed in. I need to stick it in the other side. Okay, now it's stuck in there. All right, we're good. All right. So that's stuck. They're all stuck. Oh, it sounded like something got deposited, like a coin went into a gumball machine when I did that. Now the spring is reactivated. Oh, and there it comes out a piece. You can lock each side. It's locked. Oh. So that seems to unlock these little pins, but when you push the spring down, so that puts it in, it locks that spring in place, which is great, but then nothing happens. All right, hold on. Guys, I'm gonna get this, I promise, it will happen. Okay, that's locked in. That is locked. It's locked and loaded. All right, so now that one's in. That's locked and loaded. There it is. It's coming. It's coming. Look, see? No, I don't know what to do. How do I get it all the way out? Here it goes. Come on. Yes! I did it! It's open. Where's his snack? Another ball bearing. That doesn't seem very snack-like. So these are the springs. Let's see if we can get the other rod out. Oh. Well, there's his, and there it is, folks. We have given Bananas his snack. Let me just put that there. It fits right in his hand. For an amputee gorilla, I think he's relatively happy. I'm gonna just stick him on this bar and a King Kong style as he conquered this puzzle. Conquered this puzzle, got himself a banana. We found our hex key again. I guess we didn't need it after all, but let's grab this last, let me see how I can get this last bar, there we go. This last bar out, and I think that means, ladies and gentlemen, that we have solved the puzzle. That was a tricky one. I was about to get started to put it back together, but before we did, I wanted to show how this mechanism on the bottom works. And so you can see there's this little rotating disc like we thought there was. And as you can, if you look at this little entrance here, there's a place there where there's a little divot or a little half moon shape that lines up here, see? So here you can see that this can't go in. Sorry, this can't go in until you line up that little half moon shape right there, and then it can go in. And so it's weighted. So as we turn this back and forth, let me do this. As we turn it back and forth, we can actually make it move. And so the thing is, if we find for our reset, just to make everything easy, the hole right here. So basically, we need for it to be lined up right like that with gravity. So that means that this corner where the bee and bananas is needs to be facing down. So let's try that. And where did I put it? Right here. And then we should be able to slip that right in. Right in. I mean, just... Okay, let's try this one more time. All right, so it's not really the corner straight. It's like kind of at a 45-degree angle. There you go. Okay, so that's the secret angle, is 45 degrees with the beef touching the ground, and it goes right in. All right, and we're gonna put this puzzle back together and then give some of our thoughts. All right, be right back. All right, and that, my friends, is bananas. And that was bananas. That was a difficult puzzle, my friends. It took me a long while. I don't know if it was really obvious, but this was 3 different tapings where I had to leave, come back, because I just got stuck in several different places and had to do other things. I am a scientist. I have a full-time job, so I cannot sit and solve puzzles to the wee hours of the morning and be tired the next day, although sometimes I do and I regret it. But anyways, let's talk about it. Substantial piece, very good design, very tricky design. When you open it up, pretty simple. I mean, looking at these 2 different screws, once you figure it out, what you're attempting to do, what I would say is, one design flaw that I think I noticed was that I was able to get this one out that you're supposed to use that hex screw for before I got the hex screw one out. After that, some of the most more challenging parts was the fact of using his hand as a tool. And it kind of is clever in the sense that it says to introduce yourself to bananas. I guess by shaking his hand, maybe one was supposed to come off easily. And it did seem the hands come off easier than the feet. I don't know. that part I didn't like. I don't like using this little really fragile plastic piece to have to put pressure on to get that ball bearing out. Now the mechanism's really cool. I like the mechanism. I just wish Banana's hand was made of metal or something. Like one of them was metal, one of them was plastic. Then it would be like, yes, I'm supposed to use that. Even if the metal part was somehow hidden, I don't know. But that's the only part that gave me a little bit of pause, and it took me a while because I just didn't think it was possible that this guy would use this little plastic part to do that. Anyhow, the rest of it, super genius. I love the mechanism inside this first part. So all in all, I gotta say, I'm giving this one an A+. It's a really nice, solid puzzle. It's good looking, lots of fun, super sequential discovery, lots of the sequential discovery goodness, used your brain, wasn't obvious, all the best parts of a sequential discovery puzzle. So I gotta give it an A+. The only deficit is that little trick with the hand going into the ball bearing. Really, I wish that wasn't the case. So I'm gonna give it an A+, A half plus. How's that? I can do whatever I want. It's my channel. That being said, it's worth the price. I would say if you can borrow one, if you can afford one, get it. If you can borrow one, borrow it and solve it. It's a great solve. And even having solved it in front of you, I bet you anything it's gonna be tough for you to solve if you don't go back and watch this again verbatim, because there's some parts there that if you didn't memorize it, it's gonna still be challenging even when you know what to do. So go ahead and do that. If you can't do either of those things, I hope you enjoyed this solve through my eyes, and until next time, I will see you later. Goodbye for now.